Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be going over my favourite iPad apps that I use as a student almost every single day. So firstly, let's start off with the apps I use for studying and note-taking. The first one is Notion, which I use almost every single day, and I use this across all three of my devices, my iPad, my phone and my Mac. But there is a significant portion of the time that I do use it on my iPad. That's either to use it as a revision tool so I can look at my notes, and I've encased all the information within toggles, so it's better for active recall, and I use my iPad to do that. And I use the iPad as a device to also jot down any YouTube ideas quickly before actually going into my computer and detailing them out. I've had Notion since I started the year, and I really recommend it if you haven't used it yet. Now, the next one uses the Apple Pencil 2, which I have had since I've got the iPad, and that is Notability. So on Notability, that's where I write down my notes that I take during my live lectures and any questions I have which I look up the answer to after the lecture is finished. Also, this is the app where I also annotate all my exercise that I get from my live lectures. And in this app, I have folders for each of my modules for last semester and this semester. And the next app is kind of like Notability because I use the Apple Pencil and I have used it to write down notes. And this is GoodNotes, but the thing is, the way GoodNotes is built is it's more of like a creative drawing kind of app, but at the same time it's not Procreate, which I'll go into later. So in this is where I make my scientific posters. This is the app that I use to make a poster for my assignment in my first semester. It's really easy to make posters that have drawings and typed out notes on there as well. So next is Anki. I have spoken about Anki before. If you haven't seen the video, go click up there about Anki, but it's literally just a flashcard app, and I prefer this to real flashcards because real flashcards take a lot of space, and Anki is much better because you don't have, it's not just the normal back front flashcards, it's also closed, which means kind of fill in the gaps. And compared to my laptop, my phone, this is also really useful if I'm just sitting around. I can just go on Anki and just do some revision for an upcoming test. And now my last app that I use for university and studying and note-taking is Visible Body. I only know this app because I had to use it a lot during my human anatomy module in semester 1. So on here you can look at all the anatomical features of the human body in great detail, and it's really useful if you're doing, I don't know, biomedicine, medicine, or any other kind of medical or biology related degree. And next we move on to more of my organisation for myself, so I can stay on track without deviating too much. So these two apps you probably heard me mention before, the Todoist and Google Calendar, and for me both of these go hand in hand in importance and they rely on each other. So, but firstly, let me focus on Google Calendar. And Google Calendar is really good for kind of time blocking and organising your day to colours, which Apple Calendar didn't do as well, and Google Calendar just makes it much more easier and more visual. And usually I open up Google Calendar on my iPad and just put it to the side if I'm not going to use it, and I can see what tasks I've set for myself that are coming up, and also I can see like what's coming up tomorrow or the day after. Now Todoist is what I use to write down everything that I need to do before I put it into Google Calendar. So this can include any pre-lecture material, any revision sessions that I need to do, and anything I need to do for my YouTube channel as well. And in this app I schedule them to the day that I'm meant to do them, and using this app I set deadlines for myself even before they're actually due, and then looking at these deadlines I put it into Google Calendar. But Todoist kind of gives me a visual system and shows me how many tasks are left for today and how many tasks I have tomorrow and the day after. Moving on to my creativity apps, I have Procreate, which I've been using quite a lot recently to do some drawings. It's a nice creative outlet that I have when I'm not studying and when I'm not trying to focus on my YouTube channel as well. Procreate, I'm not master at it, but I am getting a bit better and I'm trying out new stuff, and hopefully I can get way better at digital art soon. The next is Skillshare. Skillshare is an app that I've been using since the start of university as well. And on this app you have it's kind of YouTube, but way more educational, and it's way better structured as well. It is given by YouTubers, so you have people like MKBHD, Anas Nurali, Thomas Frank, Ali Abdar, they all have classes on there, and they're really well produced, and it does cost around just under £10 a month. And this is where I've learned how to edit, learned how to use Procreate, and also how to be a bit more productive as well. And then finally, for my creativity section, I have the YouTube Studio, which I use to look at my YouTube channel, my stat, and see my engagement and see any comments that you guys have left, as well as see what I can improve on in my videos. And finally comes the entertainment side of my iPad. I don't want to go over this too much, but I literally have apps like YouTube, Disney+, Netflix and Amazon Prime on here as well, which I use to watch films and watch videos when I'm not studying. And that was my favourite apps of my iPad. And if you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe and like this video and click here to see another video.